All right, hey everyone, welcome back. We've all been keeping up with this whole trade thing, right? All this talk about tariffs and what just got real, like really real.
Yeah, things are definitely heating up.
We're talking tariffs on Canada and Mexico
Yeah.
going into effect that night.
Wow.
Not weeks from now, not after more, back and forth,
Right.
midnight. It was like Cinderella style, but for international trade.
I like that analogy.
And the stock market, let's just say, had a little bit of a reaction.
Understatement of the year.
So let's break this whole thing down. What happened, why everybody freaked out, and what it means for, well, you and me, basically.
Sounds good.
So to set the scene, these tariffs on Canada and Mexico were kind of in the air, but nobody really thought they'd actually happen. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're right. The tariffs themselves weren't a total shock. The timing, though, that was the real curveball.
Oh, yeah. Like investors were holding their breath, hoping for some last-minute miracle deal to, avoid the whole thing.
Exactly. And you have to remember, investors, they're always looking ahead, trying to predict the future. So when something like this happens, it really throws a wrench in the works.
It's like watching a movie where you think the hero's going to swoop in and save the day, but then bam, the villain actually blows up the building.
Great analogy.
But in this case, the building is like these big international trade agreements.
Yeah.
And the explosion is just this giant wave of uncertainty. You know what I mean?
Perfectly put. And what really solidified it was Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary. He was there for the announcement.
Oh, right.
So it was official. This wasn't some bluff. It was a planned move by the administration.
So yeah, tariffs are a go, and the market, well, it didn't exactly throw a party.
No, not at all.
We saw some serious drops. Dow Jones down 1.7%, S&P 500 shedding almost 2%, and the Nasdaq, the tech-heavy one took an even bigger hit, down 2.5%.
Ouch.
And keep in mind, this was all in afternoon trading. Who knows how low it could have gone?
Yeah, that's a big question mark.
For those of us who don't spend all day glued to the stock ticker, a sell-off like that is basically everybody running for the exits at the same time.
It's panic selling, pure and simple. They're dumping their stocks, driving prices down because they're spooked.
So yeah, tariffs were the ghost in the machine in this case.
Definitely.
But I got to ask, why exactly did these tariffs send everyone running for cover? It's not like, a few extra dollars on imported avocados is going to bankrupt the nation, right?
Well, it's not just about avocados. These tariffs target a wide range of goods: steel, aluminum, agricultural products, you name it.
Okay, Terry.
And when you add tariffs on those key imports from your biggest trading partners, and let's not forget, Canada and Mexico are numbers 1 and 2 on that list.
Right.
You're basically injecting a huge dose of uncertainty into the entire system.
So basically businesses are like, okay, now I don't know how much my materials are going to cost. I don't know what kind of revenge tariffs they'll slap on my stuff.
Exactly.
And I certainly don't know what the whole trade landscape will look like next year, let alone in 5 years. It's scary.
Absolutely. And when businesses get scared, they stop investing. They put projects on hold, and that trickles down to the stock market.
Makes sense.
Plus, you have to remember the market kind of already factored in a different outcome. Investors were betting on a resolution and a nice, neat agreement.
I see.
And they adjusted their investments accordingly.
Oh, so when that didn't happen, it was like someone pulled the rug out from under them.
Exactly. Suddenly, the future looks a lot riskier, and investors don't like risk.
Okay, so that explains the initial freak out. But this wasn't just any random Tuesday, right? This is Canada and Mexico we're talking about.
Huge difference.
These are massive, deeply connected trading partners. This isn't like a spat with some small island nation.
Yeah.
This is the economic equivalent of a major earthquake.
Exactly. And those aftershocks are going to be felt for a while.
So even if you think, oh, tariffs, that's just boring business stuff, it doesn't affect me, I should still be paying attention.
It's a reminder that politics and economics are totally intertwined. Even stuff that seems far away can have a real impact on our lives.
Got it.
This specific event brings up a lot of important questions.
Like what?
Will these tariffs be a temporary tactic, or are we heading into a whole new world of protectionism?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What are Canada and Mexico going to do in response? And maybe the biggest question, how will this affect the economy in the long run, not just in the U.S., but globally?
So basically, there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to wrap things up, tariffs are officially in play. The market did not approve. And now we're all kind of holding our breath to see what happens next.
It really underscores why it's so important to stay informed and think critically about these complex issues.
Mm,
Don't just skim the headlines, dig a little deeper, consider different viewpoints, and try to connect the dots. Because in a world this connected, what happens on the global stage can have real consequences right here at home.
that's a good point.
Absolutely.
So on that note, we'll leave you to ponder all those big questions we talked about, and we encourage you to keep learning. This is just the beginning of the story.
It certainly is.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.